Hello and welcome back to Own the Map Challenge Survival 4X. We are ready to go for another day. We have ticked over. I managed to get the rest of the grass into what's going to be our land clamp. I guess is what I'm calling it. And yes, that's all in. Our fermenters, as they are now, our fermenters have been ticking over overnight. It is now September 1. We should get 3 days in September. So let's crack on. Let's have a look at see what's going on. So over at our fermenting silos, we have a little look. You can see overnight we managed to ferment 30,000 grass in this one. We'll just have a quick look in the other one. 28,000. So we've got 50, nearly 60,000 litres of silage that we could sell, which is probably worth a penny. If we have a little look on our... Scroll down. I don't know why it took me so long to find it. So here it is, our farmer's market. So it's currently selling for 159 and 165 per litre. I'm assuming that is, which isn't very good for us. So we're probably going to keep that a little bit and just keep filling up the land clamp. Now, once our fermenters have ticked through, we can put another 300,000 in total into them and then sort of switch them off and leave it, and then we'll just have to wait until they can run again, or we can put down another cheap land clamp because we've still got a lot of grass to cut, and we're going to want to ferment that. We're going to probably want to turn some of it into hay and possibly bale. So there's still things to do. Now, I wasn't certain that we would have everything sellable on the map because of the limited sell points. So I have dropped a sell everything container down, and I have reimbursed myself the 1,000 for that, so that's down there. And also down at the storeway, I've put down a refillable fuel tank because there's no way of getting fuel on the map either. So there is a refillable fuel tank, and I have filled that up, and I have reimbursed myself for that. But once that runs out, we need to have our own tank and be buying our own fuel. So this is what we've got dumped down here at the moment. Now, if I... There we go. So we have, what do we got on there? 128,000 litres as well. And that's 2% compacted. So I haven't compacted it yet because I figure I want to try and get at least wherever I cut next on there as well. But before I start worrying about that, I want to try and repurpose some of this land. And I'd also like to have somewhere to put some of my equipment. And in doing so, hopefully we'll give ourselves somewhere to get water. Because I would like to use the shed that we used on Moss Valley. Once again, you have to give me a minute to find it. There you go. I think it's this one. Yep. Wooden barn with water barrel. That's the one we want. So this, oh, this is quite sizable. But this is going to allow us to collect water. Again, a lot of this could be temporary, and we'll probably end up moving it about as well. I think for now, so I'm thinking of other things I'd like to do here at the minute. There we go. So we should have a water source, and we should then be able to put some part of vehicles and our machines away. Now, I also want to look while I'm here. I think it'll be under factories, greenhouses. I want to have a little look at some of these. Now, we've got some options. So we can do a garden plot that requires... Is that fertilizer, water and seed, or manure, water and seed? I guess these are different sizes. They must be. Don't know why there's 4 of them, unless they do different products and I didn't notice. Now we do have these open air plots, but again they require water, seed, and fertilizer. I was hoping not to have to pump too much into these things. Whereas our mushrooms will just require water, and they do sell well. We could just get some small greenhouses to start with. And they do look right tiny next to that shed. So I want to try and keep it simple. We pop this one down next to it. I might pop 2. Just to make sure we get a bit of money coming in. plenty of room in between. I should be able to get in there and get out whatever there is. Hopefully. So that'll be a couple of greenhouses we can get running. Now, I'm not sure about our mushrooms. Whether we start getting some mushrooms on the go. I was to pop that down here. It's not going to interfere with anything else, hopefully. And then at least then I know. I have to bring it forwards a little bit. But at least then I know that we've got some things that are going to be producing for us. But that is quite an expense that we've just put out there. So with that, we're going to head down to the store. We'll get ourselves a liquid tanker. Probably get ourselves a universal liquid tanker. Make life easier if we can pull a lot of different liquids with it. So that we can get started on those as soon as possible. Now, I'm going to be good. I want to wait until we get some rain. I'm going to wait until we've got rain before I can fill my water bowser up. So hopefully we get some rain soon. I was surprised we didn't already have some. But it'll come. But anyway, let's head down to the store. I'm not sure if the universal tank comes under animals or under miscellaneous. I think it might be under miscellaneous. Oh, no. We've got... That's the lizard one. I don't want... Do I want this one? I often get this one just because it does hold a lot. But if we come out... Well, I could have sworn that I had universal tank. Unless I am just dreaming now. I am sure that we had the universal tankers here. Now, I did recently reinstall FS25 on my console, and I know I've installed them there. So we may just get this one for now. I think that'd just be a bit too cheeky. Oh, I do like it, though. It is handy. Do we go for convenience? There's going to be a lot of inconvenience in this series, so perhaps going for convenience wouldn't necessarily be bad. We'll go for the extra capacity. I'll keep it blue, room colour. Yeah, I want to go with that. Some people hate it, but it's just, yeah, it's going to be a convenience thing. We're going to buy it. And before I attach it and bring it back to the farm, I do need... Here, you'll see, this is where I've... got our tanker, so hopefully... fill up with some fuel. And by the time that runs out, we need to have our own tank and supplying ourselves. It was only once I'd finished up the last episode I was thinking, oh, we've gone through a lot of fuel. Where's the fuel station? Oh, there isn't one. But there are enough mods. Now, I thought I had a mod that would put one down that we could just buy from. But again, I had a look and I can find one. Let me know in the comments if there is one, or if you pop a link to it on the Giants mod hub. If you can put a link to it, it'll probably get flagged up for you, but I can put it through, or I'll get to see it, and we'll maybe add that in so I can buy fuel that way. But if not, we buy it in bulk and we can keep taking it out of there. But the next refill, either there or at the farm, comes out of our pocket. Having dropped off our little, it's rather large, isn't it, actually, liquid tanker, now heading back with the plough, because we are going to break ground. So to start with, I'm going to cut my island in the middle. See how well we can do this. Now this is going to be a field that's going to expand down that way once we've purchased that plot of land. Oh, let's make sure we're there we go, creating our field. So yeah, well, that's what I want to do. So this probably won't go all the way up to the tent shack. I'm going to be naughty and turn with our plough, but we'll do it slowly. Get all the trees in. Try and keep some of the bushes in. There we are. A little bit more actual farmering. We are ploughing. Now it's going to take quite a while to make the field with this. We have got our field stones on as well, as you can see. We've got pretty much everything turned on. Periodic ploughing is on, which I always have on anyway. The stones we're going to have on. We've got the trailer weight limit on as well. So there are certain things that are not going to be easy about this challenge. There we go. That is our island cut in. So then I want to try and find where our grass is cut to. Which is down here. So going to I'm not going to be greedy with this as well. I'm not going to run everything right up to the air. I want to try and make sort of a semi-realistic looking farm and map. It's going to be a massive, massive area. I want to try and make it look as good as I can. So we want to try and have, you know, hedgerows and fences, and I might even do a little bit of landscaping and create some burns around the edge of some of the fields and bring stuff up and lower stuff down. I don't even know if there's a water plane underneath the map that would, you know, help us to create a river maybe, or a lake or a pond. All things that need to be investigated. So I think if we say that's about there for now. We don't want to go right up into the tree line. Try and make our edge. So I'm not 100% on how high I want to go. I might take it up so we cut around with these trees and then go across to the road. Oh, let's go right round there, don't we? Let's follow that a little bit tighter where we can. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the first episode. It was probably long. I've got a feeling that if we're ploughing, this one's going to be longer. But if I want to get progress and I want to get stuff in, then, you know, with the size of the map and the size of the jobs that we're doing, the episodes may be long. It just might have to be what it is, but we'll see how popular they go, and then we'll see if I have to adapt what I'm doing along the way. We have a track here that runs into the woods, or is that just a little patch of dirt or something? I don't think it's just a patch that's maybe been missed, but we'll leave it. That is character. We can make that a patch that goes, or a track that goes into the woods. This is our map. We can make it what we wish. So if I now turn my map on, we're still quite a way up anyway, aren't we? We're probably up further than I thought I would be. But from the dead tree, I want to turn. Because that's going to take us just into that curve, and then that can be the outlier for our field. And as you can see on the mini-map, we get to see where we've drawn our field as well. Not drawn our field, but ploughed our field, and it draws it on the map. And again, not go ridiculously close to the edge. I might want to, like I said, I might want to put some burns on there, or at least some fences or some trees. I'm going to try and cut that right round. Naughty, I know. To make it round. There we are. Give us space, you know, for once we've got hedges and fences up, so there's room to turn machinery and equipment and harvesters and stuff. It's all going to need space. If we come out, we might be able to see how we're doing for coming in line with where we'd already ploughed. We're now coming up to it. Tell you what, I think I've done that pretty well. Blind run done by eye. Look at that. Not bad at all, even if I say so myself. Now I may need, I think I'm going to have to, is go around it like a second headland just to make sure I've got enough room to put the plough down when I start doing it properly and going across the field area. So I will go round, give it like a double thickness headland, maybe even a triple, who knows. But this is gonna take me, I should imagine this is going to take me more than a game day, even at ×5, which is like 2 hours. It's going to take me longer than that to plough this field up. Well, it has been a long day out creating this field. It is now 7:30. I feel like I've been going at this for about an hour and a half. It may even be longer. We still have a quarter of the field to go. But I have noticed, not that I've been much of a perfectionist with the plough, but I've noticed it's gone a bit wobbly in places in the darkness. So just going to try and get a few more passes done if I can. But we're getting there. We are getting there. I'm going to have to finish ploughing this up September 2, which is fine. We'll just go have a little sleep and get back on it. It would have been nice to have got it finished September 1, just so that we could have really checked on what we could have planted or what we were doing with it. I mean, September 2, September 3 is still going to give us time, I think. Not 100% of what we can even plant at the minute. With the planter that we have, I'm going to guess and say canola might be the only option for us. But we'll sort of study that a little bit more once we can actually start planting. My island is looking good down here. And like I say, the bottom of it is going to spread out a little bit more as well. There we are. I think this will be my last trip out. If we turn the lights off, which, you know, isn't advised, they're on for a reason. It's proper dark. It is night time here. In September, I thought we'd have a little bit more daylight in September, but apparently not. Apparently this is all we get. Daylight was pretty much gone. Around about, I think at 6 it started to really dim down. 7 o'clock it was definitely, you know, had to have your lights on. But if we have a little look, 10 acres we've ploughed so far. Now, I said I thought the area that we cut was possibly 15 acres. I think this bit is going to be 15 acres. We probably cut about 20 acres, maybe more. But I am going to leave that there. And we're just going to head off and have a little sleep. And we'll just get straight back on it. Now, where's my tent? The camo tent. Alright, let's get some kit and then we'll get straight back on with ploughing in the morning. And before I head out, I want to just have a little check. Because, obviously, new things keep coming in for sale. And I haven't looked now. Oh, when we load in, there's like 3 or 4 3 or 4 rows of things to buy in the sales. And then when we sleep through, a lot of it seems to disappear. And there's not anything here that's much use for us. What I'm hoping for is to get a bale trailer and a grain trailer turned up second hand. That would be nice. That would be nice to help us out. Because if we jump into our productions, we've got 55,000 litres of silage there to sell and 55,000 litres of silage there to sell. So we've got 110,000 litres of silage, which will sell well for us eventually. Not right now, unfortunately. If we go back and check our prices, we're looking at 161, 167. Come October, things will start to do better for us because that is when other farmers, if there were other farmers, they'd be buying it off us to feed after they've already done their cuts and whatnot. So, yeah, not the best time for us here. And I'm just going to quickly check the planting window. So, September. So, today and tomorrow, there is a chance that we could get canola in the ground. Barley, but we've got a planter, not a seeder. So, barley is an option. Oh, I thought it was spinach. It's not. It's oilseed radish. So we could put oilseed radish in if we can't get anything else in the ground. We won't be able to do it with our tool. And if we leave the oilseed radish in, we get paid, I think, in March. And then we'd cultivate it in for fertilization. And then in March, we would be able to plant, or March, April time, we'd be able to plant either corn. I think we can do the beans. That would require some specialist machinery. Not that I really want to do sugar beet off the, or whatever it's referred to as. Soybeans we could do. April. I think that's it. Yeah, soybeans we could do. We can't do beans. Sugar beet. We could plant that in. So there is an option actually for that. And we would get a hell of a lot of beet out of that massive field. That would make money. But yeah, I'm sure it's with precision farming that putting in the... Where's the hell? Putting in the... Is it right down the bottom here? Base game, precision farming. Subsidies. There you go. Planting a cover crop like oilseed radish on your field during winter can earn you subsidies of up to 200 per hectare. Ensure that the field remains covered through February. So yeah, we stick that in and we'll get paid come March, since we can't necessarily plant what we want to plant. So that is a thing. That is a thing we might do. But we'll see, because, you know, we'd rather not have to wait until March, if I'm honest with you. It'd be nice to have canola going in the ground and having something to harvest next year rather than planting next year and then waiting the following year to be able to harvest, or late in that year to be able to harvest. So, I don't know. If we were to be able to put the canola in, so I think we've not got any other income coming, and then we'd probably have to go off and do some forestry. Or we just spend the winter making sure we stay on top of our crops. I mean, we'll need to cut the rest of the grass that's on our land. That's a must. So we've got that to do October, November. So we're not going to be shy of work, really. As long as we can produce the silage, I guess we'll have something to sell, something to flog. Well, 10 o'clock is fastly approaching, and we're almost done here. Almost done. 2.5 days, pretty much, and we nearly have our first field. What an achievement. This is going to be such a challenge. Such a challenge. What have I let myself in for here? This is going to take a lifetime. That's alright. I say we're not necessarily going to turn every bit of land into fields. I would like to try and get some decoration packs downloaded and installed, and we'll build a little village, maybe a couple of little villages about, and, you know, invest our money. And we'll try and use some maybe generators within the villages, so it's as if they're generating us income. We've built them. They're our properties. They're going to bring us in income. So we'll try and do something like that with it. So it's not like wasted land, and it's not helping us. Because if we put down decorations, I think most of them have an upkeep cost, especially the building ones. So we're going to need a generator to go with them as well. Pop a little aerial antenna in there, or what we got, like the gas racks, you know what I mean, with the like halogen gas and what have you. But you'd have for camping, like camping gas thing. They generate little income. So we'll but that's way off. We've got to have the land and have the money to do that as well. To be fair, we need to build our own farmhouses first, don't we? Now there's not a purchasable warehouse for buying stuff here. Whether there's one that we can place, I think there must be one that you can place. It probably costs an absolute fortune. So we might have to see if we can get something like that established, because then, as we earn money, we can buy the resources to start building our farmhouse. We can maybe try and get some of the resources ourselves through production. But I think that would be pretty cool, because I would like to do some of the barn building as well. Just lots that we can try. Lots that we can fit in. once we get going, we shouldn't have too much trouble making money with. If we can make fields, and they're like this sort of size, we should be able to generate a decent income. I'm also considering adding in, just for, say, I go for that weird mix, and I'll use naughty mods for some things, and I want a little bit of realism for something else. I might add in the mod that only allows a single crop in a silo as well, so we just can't have lots stored up and things like that. So we have to have multiple silos to fill, or we could just get the flat bottom ones that I think they only take one crop anyway, but we'll maybe add that mod in just to make sure things work in that way. See how things go. But yeah, 10 o'clock, and we're about to put the last furrows through our field. And I'm not gonna lie, for IRL, this has taken me all evening to create a field. And we've got real time running up at the top if you're interested. It is up there. So you can see, whatever time it was we started the field, you can go and try and figure out how long that took, because I'm not sure when we started. And I've been pausing and stopping the recording as I go. Try and get rid of that tuft. But we now have a field. Look at that. I think that looks pretty decent. Cannot grumble. I don't think. Anyway, I'm sure someone will. But I don't think you can. I think that looks pretty sweet. Now we're going to check our weather. See if we're getting any rain coming, because I can't start my passive productions again, because that fills off rainwater. So we're going to wait until we have some rain. And then we'll fill our massive naughty trailer, and we won't have to wait for rain ever again. But that's not the point. No, I need to make sure that that is off. That is down. So we'll get it right in there. Lovely job. Perfect. So we've got one tool put away. Yeah. Right, let's look and see. Let's check our weather. Just turn my engine off, actually. Don't want to be wasting fuel now, and I've got to pay a fortune for it. So by the looks of it, we're not going to get any rain until October. So I'm not going to be able to get my passives going until October, which is a shame. I'm a little bit concerned about the finances. Can't lie, because our loan is paying out 555 a day loan interest. Yes, and it's not getting paid off. Now, I thought I had one of the financial mods installed, so I might have to look into that so that we can have our instead of just taking out interest and our loan still sitting there, see if it'll take out a monthly fee. But that'll probably be higher than what that is. As you see, this is the money I had to add in for place down different things and then filling up the gas, the fuel tank. Now, if we go over on our map, we'll have a little look at our farmland. So yeah, that takes up quite a large portion of that. We'll have to see what we've got on the other side, sort of tree-wise, for building there. And then this is the bit that I want to try and get another decent sized field in up there, because we've got a tree line here. So if we can field that bit, I think those two fields would work out quite nice for us. Now if we go precision farming, how do we get, is that going to work? Precision farming with this? So I want to buy my... that's worrying. If not, I'll have to get a scanner and do it manually. No source samples to analyze, so I want to pay someone to come and do it. Please and thank you. Well, I'll have to keep fiddling with that as we go. But yeah. This is just farmlands and not fields. I think that's where it's going to let us down. So I think we're going to have to scan that myself, soil sample it, or hire someone worker-wise to come and do that for me at some point. So for now, I am just going to put the Challenger away. And another thing that I was thinking about doing, but again, I'll still be waiting for water, is it would be nice, I think I did say before, would be nice to get a few sheep. Now, if I was sheep, wouldn't build a big pen, I'd just have them in a pen. So sheepless pasture. So this, auto water. Maybe that's what I should kind of go with. Now, also the pasture can be customized as well. Okay. I just had to check. Wondering whether to get some sheep up and running as well. Or is that too much to start with? Do you think? Do you think? I mean, I don't even necessarily, I don't need a fence as well. I do want a fence, don't I? To be fair, I want a fence. But then that costs a bit more. So if I was, say, we've got that sort of dry area there anyway. And I'm saying that I'll take 19 sheep. So I could... Do I want to customize? Yes, I do. Right. So, what I'm thinking is possibly just bringing it down a little bit. Let's try and work as somewhat straight. Hopefully that's given me enough space to that way. Yeah, to get a track trying to trail around the back or something anyway. I am happy with that. Do you want to plant meadow? Yep, I do. So there we are. We now have a pasture, and that will need water. Then, if I can remember the controls. There we go. Right. Give ourselves a bit of a track down here. Well, I don't want to be smoothed out as well, doesn't it? That's not so good, but never mind. We can try and do something about that in time. So, there we go. That is our little farm so far. Not a lot going on with it, but it's ready. It's ready to be a farm. And we need to sort that bit out as well, don't we? That's a little bit nasty. There we are. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Little paths and tracks connecting things up. Now we have a little look around. Down on the ground. Just get rid of our map. Yeah, once we can get some water, so in October, we'll have 2 crops growing and probably going direct sale, just so it's ticking over. And we've got our mushrooms up and running. We've got a big one. This should produce a fair old bit. Got our silage there, silage there. We'll keep filling that up when we do our next cut. And then we'll have some sheep grazing here, producing some wool for us. We'll keep living in the tent for now. And then we're going to have our beautiful fields that we'll plant here. I think we are making headway, leaps and bounds. Not a lot going on, but a lot getting ready. But that is going to be it for this one. Probably an episode just ploughing a field and then me chatting as a cod. But hopefully if you enjoyed it. If you have, give it a big fat thumbs up down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn the bell notification on. Find out when new videos are going live. As always, comments and feedback down there. A massive thank you to all the channel members and all the support that we've been receiving lately. You guys have a wonderful day. And hopefully, I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.